Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of TimberPunk 2, where I took a little bit of time to do a little speed up montage before the episode. So we get to have a little bit of that today. I'm going to show off something that I worked on between episodes, and I think you guys might like it a little bit. Well, of course, did a little cleanup down here. We actually planted some coffee. We got a lot of canola seed down here. A bunch of food stuff still going around. I'd like to clean this up at some point. Maybe, potentially, get this to be a little less chaotic. It's just kind of a thrown together type situation down here. So it's not exactly the most sanitized workspace, if you will. It's all just everywhere. But you know what? It works, and that's all that really matters. At least that's how I'm going to tell myself, or what I'm going to tell myself, so I can sleep at night. You know, this is beautiful. Everything's working as advertised. Everything's running. I don't know if I showed this the last go. Put in a lot of beautiful places for all of our bots to charge and all that fun stuff. And pardon the game, it's being a little bit more painful these days, or today, because of all of the work that I put in. So we'll just sneak over here a little bit, check out some of the stuff that we did. We expanded the tree cutting just a tad bit. I did run into an issue, though, as you can tell. I tried to split the party up a little bit, if you will. Set up a secondary district on this side of the map so that these guys can just work and not have to run 5,000 miles. And allegedly that's supposed to alleviate some of the lag on the game, which we might end up doing a little bit more districting today as well, because the game is exceptionally painful for some strange reason. Now, as we move over here, we've got all of this up and running. We expanded to this side. We added more places for the production of canola oil, and we got some grease factories moving over here. We got the coffee factories in. Everything's looking really nice. You know, we got gears, and we've got production out the wazoo over here, as Kibitz likes to say. We started expanding a little bit of the storage on this side, which is beautiful. You know, all these things I basically had to put together in preparation for the next episode or two. And so, and then we did this. We expanded over here a little bit. We were running into a canola seed shortage, and as you can tell, our beautiful hangout place is working beautifully down here as we try to sneak in here. Never mind the lack of like aesthetically pleasing architecture under here. It's just basically a happiness room, if you will, where they come in, they can do all the fun things like go work out and go check out the the theater, not propaganda theater. It's just a theater, okay? And then get all of the aesthetic buffs as they go to and fro in there to get all their fun things. And I think if we pull this down just a tad bit, we've still got all of our fireplaces back here. And you can see I tried to finagle power in a way that provides power to the systems that it needs to go to without becoming a mess for everything in here. And the fun thing about the motivatoriums, they have to be on the ground, so you can't just feed power directly underneath them. Otherwise, that would have made things a little bit easier. So we fed power back here. We fed power into these mud baths and everything. So things are nice and happy down there. I still want to cover the rest of this up, but I haven't quite gotten to that yet. And as you can see, we've got a fair amount of tubeway stuff moving around here, because while I was doing that between episodes preparation and recording, I had to do something with my Wall-E Beavers while they were occupied elsewhere. So there's a few less thorns and trees down here. So we are slowly conquering the rest of the map, or at least a fair portion of the map. So there's a lot of geothermal fields that we've uncovered thus far. So we're going to be able to come in here at some point, probably today, and cap all of these and take advantage of the energy over here. Though, I say that, I don't think we'll have an energy crisis anymore. The past couple of episodes, I noticed that we're a couple thousand units short of energy every time a temperate cycle rolled around because of all of the aquifers just taking up copious amounts of energy from us. So I went ahead and built this, and here's the speed up montage for this wonderful build.
There was a great disturbance in the forest. It came from underground, then the surface. I can't quite remember what the source is. What were they doing? I asked. They told me the great river is now being dammed by the robotic beavers. Front of the damn thing, I asked, what's your mission? Metal rodent, it said, don't you worry, I am just one part of the whole component. Listen closely, you'll hear the whirring of a saw, gnashing of gears. You can hear them approaching near as they clear cut the forest. Once was grand, now there is no dirt or sand, just metal trees, it all was planned. The beavers knew what they were doing, the massive steel dam. They told us, when it's finished, they will flood us.
And hello, YouTube, and welcome back. Apparently, there is an audio snafu yet again. Who knew that could happen to me twice in a single series thus far? So I'm going to try to narrate a little bit of what Past Shadow is attempting to talk about. One, the power total system produces about 37,000 units of power. Double what we were initially getting. Fantastic. Not exactly what I anticipated. And now we get to move over to the giant monstrosity that's supposed to be the the beautiful water tower. Now, of course, the beautiful water tower needs some assistance because we need to figure out the whole inflow and outflow of all of the water, and that turns into quite the mess. So I'll spend the next 4 minutes, closer to 10 minutes in real time trying to figure all this out while you guys get to watch a 2-minute quick recap of everything that happened here. So enjoy that while I try to figure out how this is all supposed to happen. And then I found an interesting problem with the sluice gates. I'm not entirely sure what happened with them or why they're not doing what they're advertised to do. So that was an interesting situation to find. And yeah, turns into quite the mess here in 69 seconds. So enjoy that little bit of chaos as I try to finagle a solution to this whole water problem. So I'm going to let Past Shadow continue to yap for you and enjoy whatever this is. Yo, have fun. See ya. All right. I think that solves that problem for us. Maybe, hopefully. And I believe I still need to reselect this. We've got to just leave that in the open position. We've got to turn this one back down, close above downstream depth of, I don't know where that's looking right now, actually. That is not good. What is that hitting? Oh, that's hitting that. That's interesting. Might actually have to finagle that a little bit better. Can I drop this any further? Not really. Okay, so apparently there is something preventing that from actually pushing through. Very interesting. What is holding it up? Pretty sure I didn't. Hold up. Give me that. Can game please work? Come on. Oh, there's something on top of it. That's why I won't take. Okay. 5 metal blocks. That's an overhang, but there's nothing on top of said overhang that should prevent me from having that drop. My understanding, because I think I deleted all the stuff. So let's pull this back down. Again, grab this. Pull this back down. Yeah, that's stuck on there. I can't really go any lower. That's not what I want. Maybe it's the overhang corner. Maybe that's what's preventing us from doing that. Okay, so let me play with this for a second. Give me 1 minute. Okay, that was simple. So this side should be close above downstream. Well, we're still at that 0.5. Why are we... Do I need to actually remove the overhang? I shouldn't need to remove the overhang. Okay. Well, here. Let's try that. And let's pull that out. Put the shorter overhang in. No, we want the shorter one. So that goes like that. We need to somehow finagle an overhang in here that allows us to actually place something under here like that. Then we do something like that. We also need to Working in such a confined space is such a pain. Hmm. All right, give me a second. Okay, I do believe that it's actually the aquifer drill that is preventing us from doing this. Which kind of stinks. Okay, well then maybe we have a tunnel that feeds into here. Maybe that's the answer. Okay, so this will just be the feed input. We'll pull that back out. We'll pull this back out. Get this back in. That's a 5. Yeah, okay. And then we do this as the open feed in. And we go ahead and encase this. We don't need to encase that. Well, no, we do need to encase this. Okay, so that goes like that. And then now we feed this on top. This gets covered, as does this. Now we want to rip this out right here. And we also want to rip this out right here. Probably even that and that and that. Grab these levees, feed this in. Oh, that's going to be another issue for us. We can't butt right up underneath there. Really wish we could put stuff right up underneath the overhang, but that kind of defeats the purpose of an overhang. Okay, so let's go out one further. We want to do this like that. Like there. Pull this up all the way to there. Now we just have to put these in right here and here. Put that there, and then this can be just a... These can be doubles back here. This can be this right here. And here, and then we can just toss that in and call that a triple, and that fills that spot up for us. We grab that and fill that in like such as. And now we just come in here, cover these back up. That should be appropriately covered up. And now we grab our sluice gate. Now that should give us a depth of 3. But no, it's only going to the top of that. Okay. Can I rip that platform out? I can. Why is the platform preventing us from doing stuff? That's really strange. This is 4 now? No. Max depth of 3. Why are you doing that? Is it because the impermeable flooring? Or is it because the path here? That shouldn't do anything. Still 3. Down to 0. And 0's at that level. What if we remove that? Did that do anything? Nope. Didn't change a thing. Interesting. Interesting dilemma we've found. Or interesting problem. I don't think that's supposed to work like that. Really don't think that's supposed to work like that. we did cover that back up. Yeah, impermeable flooring back in there. We put this back on top. We put this in right here. That's really not what I wanted to see there. I wanted to have that sitting on top and doing things appropriately. And I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any more impermeable flooring anywhere. I have been deleting stuff and re-adding stuff. It looks as though we're fine. We can pull this back up to the top. Go ahead and grab our levees. Feed this back in. And then we can go ahead and set up our beautiful two-way station situation, which should be relatively simple. Don't want to destroy the dirt there. We can just throw in a two-way station right here. Connect this up right there. I'm going to grab that, rip that out. There's no need for that. Then we come in on this backside and we go straight up. Uh-oh. Oops. That's fine. Actually, that's not fine. All right, let's go. Just because of the limitations of the build height, we're going to pull this down by 1, maybe 2, just so that we don't run into any weird stuff, because we're going to have to come out over top with these. Yeah, that build height limitation already, which is not what we want to see. Okay, well, we can just pull that out, and then we can put this in right here. The problem with doing something like this is if I don't have an access point to build the support structure for all of this that's going in right here, then it's basically a moot point, and I can't build beyond this. So we want to make sure that everything is good. I want that to be a triple, actually. I want to come out. I want to be able to cover this line on the right or on the left there, and then I want to be able to continue out this way as well. Means something along those lines, and we can go out that way and that way. Save a little bit of material, pull that up, pull that out, hit that button, go 6 here, 6 here. Then we come over and do something along the lines on this end and this end there. This is all a tad bit ridiculous. We might actually need to come in and build some of the support structure down there in order to get this effectuated appropriately. But for now, this will do. Actually, will this let me place it on here? It will not. Okay, so that goes out the window. All right, that's obnoxious. All right, pull it down 1, pull this down 1. We go 2 out. We go like this. I don't want to just pull the entire system over by 1. Okay, give me 6 to 9 minutes to figure this out, and we'll be back. Okay, it's not pretty, but we're not reliant on the internal structure to get this up and running. So in theory, we should be able to build this, get the base structure into place, and then we should be able to actually push around Let's start building some of the additional structures as we go. And then we can come up on top once the core facility is in place, and then that will allow us to take advantage of everything and then build on the actual structure itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this button and watch the game stutter to a halt for a few seconds, and then enjoy a nice little speed up montage. Hopefully it's not too painful of one. All right, go.
I am watching from the hillside in the dry wind of the afternoon. I am seeing all the beavers hauling water to the moon. They are stacking up the platforms, layer after layer high. Pumps are humming, logs are creaking, reaching for the endless sky. There's a massive water tower rising like a wooden spire to feed the colony forever, through the drought and through the fire. Iron teeth bots are welding girders, beavers gnaw an engineer's dream. Millions of liters in the making for the thirst that never seems. And I am thinking of the old rivers that once flowed without a care. Now the colony is building something permanent up there. And the water starts to trickle from the top into the tanks below. Endless storage for the future where no beaver has to go. I am turning from the vista as the sun begins to set. The tower stands against the skyline, a promise we won't forget.
All right, and welcome back. It is nearing completion. We're also encroaching upon a bad tide. And I was hoping that we could get this finalized before the beginning, or the beginning of the next negative cycle, because we are losing a fair amount of water off the back end over here, which is kind of sad. I would have liked to have saved a little bit of this water as opposed to it going off the back, but it's okay. Now, what do we have unconnected over here? That's all that stuff. I did have to come over here and try to disconnect a few of these places, and in the end, it really didn't help out too much. I'm sad to report that even with a lot of the pathing being cut off, the amount of drag on the computer is still absolutely atrocious and basically almost unplayable at this point. And this is what we ran into on a previous playthrough that we had on the channel. So I think what's going to happen here is I'm going to finish up the rest of this. We're going to have it prepped and ready to go and start working our way towards cleaning up the rest of this real quick. And we'll set up a method for our beavers to basically run straight up from this tubeway station up to here, and then we'll put our last bits of entertainment that we need to meet our peak well-being population without the Earth repopulator, which will be the last thing that we do. Honestly, I feel like we could probably tackle both of those in this episode. Actually, you know what? That's not going to be feasible. Yeah, so let's finish the rest of this up. We're going to finish that up, and then we're going to come over here, clean this up, and hopefully that shouldn't be that big of an ask. I believe all we'll really need to do is blast a little bit of this down, put in some overhangs, and then cover that with dirt. I'm realizing we are almost out of planks again, too. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. It should look a little something like that going in there, that going in there, and then that going in right there. We'll throw the overhangs in on that side and then cover that with dirt. Then run some power from back here, which I believe is already connected. I would love to be able to play this game as at the same time as actually talking about what I plan to do, but alas, that is not feasible right now, just because of how poorly the game is playing right now, which is very sad. Making sure I'm in the right spot there, and I'm still good, so we'll just keep moving this up. I think that one goes right here. Nope. One over to the right. Or maybe two over to the right. Let's see. One over to the right. All right. Let's go grab that, pull this up there. That puts us in that spot. And so now it's just a matter of running the power over here, and then we'll set that up. We'll set up all of that bad Johnny there, and then it's as simple as blasting it down right here. And then connecting that in with a two-way station. So that should just be a triple, I think. Say 1, 2, 3, 3, I think. That should work. And then that would even connect into this, make their lives a little bit easier, since this is quite the trek to get up to here anyway. So I think next episode we'll cap all these geothermal fields off just because we can. And then we will toss in the earth recultivator and get that up and running. But we're going to hit this play button. Hopefully they can get this accommodated while everything else is going on the other side, and we can start moving towards our new high as far as well-being status is concerned. We are currently at 63. I think 63 is our peak, and 63 is the current max, or currently sitting at. It does help that the majority of our beavers basically don't have to do anything throughout the day, because I've got all the positions, except for a few hauling positions, taken over by bots. And once we're done with the predominance of our building, we can just go ahead and put all of those hauling positions in as bot, or as bio beavers as well. Now we are going to block their access to some of this stuff for a second while we tear this out, which is okay. We can rectify that relatively quickly. We would just want to toss that in right there, there, and there. Those are the 6s. Yes, yes, and that should be fine. That should cover down on the dirt on that end. Now we are going to have a little bump out here, which is okay. We might even want to pull this back by 1 so we can move the two-way station back by 1 as well. I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's pull that back. Yeah, that might we might run into a little bit of an issue doing this, but we should be able to blast down, and I think that two-way tunnel is right here coming up anyway. So that shouldn't be a problem. Then it's just a staircase up and into all of those fun things for us. Now we can go ahead and grab all of this, throw this in, like such as, we do something along those lines right here. And we can't do anything else until we have that solidified as our base. That goes in to cover all of that up. And for some reason, there we go. Now we just go ahead and cover this back up, get our paths reconnected, get this in right here. And hopefully we don't get our beavers stuck anywhere. We might actually flip this around so they can... That should work. They shouldn't have any issues doing that. So that'll get rectified hopefully relatively quickly. They'll get over here and take care of this for us. They're going to start throwing in some of this dirt already. Those stairs should go in relatively soon, hopefully, which means we can reconnect everything. There's our bad tide, which is... Oh, hey, look, we're at cycle 50. It shows you how long it took for me to actually finish up the last system we're working on. So that's in. Let's blast this out. That button. I do need to figure out where that is in relation to that whole system. It looks like we should be able to just cut through with something like this. It should be relatively simple. They roll in, throw that in, and that'll be great. Once they get this in, we get this two-way station connected and ready to go. We can turn around and go see how that top layer is moving for us, which should be relatively easy. We want to put this in right there. Then we also want to put this in right here to connect all that. And then we go back up to the top. And this comes up here. And then we put this in right here. And then we want basically a staircase out directly. Then go up here. I think that's kind of how we want that to go. And then we'll path over. Maybe we do two somehow. Well, we won't be able to run power down. Isn't exactly the best way of going about doing this, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Hopefully. Dirt is going in, so that's all that really matters. And then they can come in, they can put these pieces in for us, and then we'll be able to crawl over the top and continue to put the rest of this in. But they do have these stairs in, so they should be able to continue to push in all of the dirt on there, and we'll have this hole covered, and that will be nice. We'll pause the game for a second real quick. Come over here, tell them to stop planting that, maybe. With that button, they can pick that to their heart's content. That is all going in. Now we are finally covering up this hole that has been pestering me for a hot minute, which is a good thing. A very good thing for us. And I am here for it. That is going in now, so that is fantastic. You gotta love to see that. Now we're just waiting for the last few pieces of the dirt to go in. All right. I think we also still need to run this over to there. And that will be where our power comes up from below. That should be quite simple for them to knock out for us, which would be really nice. Oh, that bell. I thought I paused all the bells. Oh, no. Not what I wanted to happen. Boo. Not exactly how I imagined that to go, but this is fine. We can put this in right here. And that should cover those holes appropriately again. Hopefully. Maybe we might need to actually pull that out there, and then yeah, that's where the power will come in. That's okay. So that power goes right there. We pull this back down, then we rip this out. That should have taken us all the way down to the bottom, question mark. Double check. That is all the way down to the bottom. Good. And we grab this. Vertical power shafts for all my friends. Pull this back up to the top. Continue placing the rest of our vertical power shafts. That is where it's supposed to be. We put our path back over it so that everything gets reconnected. Pull this back down because I forgot to lay our power lines through here, and that will go like that. That can go in, and hopefully we don't accidentally explode our dirt again. That shouldn't take too long. That is going in beautifully. You love to see it. Planks are slowly catching back up, so that's good to see. Power's getting connected, so that's even better to see. This is still disconnected because we haven't given them access to all that yet again, but that is fine. We are working on it. Dirt is going in. Awesome. That final piece right there is what we're waiting on to finally recapture this area. And it looks like the cavalry is still moving material in and around the cabin, which is a good thing. You've got to love to see the fact that everything is working as advertised. It is so beautiful. So beautiful. Well, I say so beautiful, knowing full well that this is quite the quite the mess. The cleanest thing is probably this, right? This is okay. Everything else is kind of just haphazardly tossed together, which is kind of pretty much par for the course for me, honestly. They get all this in. They did. Awesome. Let's figure out how to get all of this in. That should be relatively simple. Just throw that there, and that covers that area. Were you guys needed? I don't recall. No, you were not. Okay, so you can go away, you can go away, you can go away. Actually, it kind of is needed, because that's going to be a spot where water gets stuck, and we don't want water getting stuck anywhere. So let's go ahead and fill that hole in. And then we can maybe come out from over here. Drop this, throw this in, grab here, grab that, and maybe do the same from the other side. And we also want to touch that too, so let's just do that real quick. That should be relatively simple. That gets covered up there, that gets covered up there, this comes out across. And we do want to do the same from the other side. That's another 6 right there. That should meet the intent all the way across the board there. And pull this out. Drop this. Let's go down 1. Go out by 6. And that goes out by 2. And then out by 2 there. This is ridiculous and a tad bit insane, but it will do the job. Hopefully. Well, it will do the job. Is it the smartest way of going about doing this job? Probably not. But you know what? I have enough material that I'm not too concerned about doing this the smartest way. How am I going to get to that one? Can't believe I missed all of that. That's actually mildly obnoxious. Okay, you know what? We'll just come up. That should be... We'll just do this. There, and then that reaches there. Okay. That should cover all of those bases for us, so we can come back over here and check out how the rest of this is coming along on this end. It appears as though everything is going in appropriately, so that is good. Now we can come into the well-being tab, go ahead and grab these wind tunnels and start putting a few of these in. I did not realize how massive these wind tunnels were until just now. So that's on me. We might actually pull this all out and pull the rest of this out, honestly. I think I want to do that. So let's do that. That means ripping all of that out right there. They have a rescue point. That's okay. We're going to pull this all out and get rid of that so we can cover that area. Then well-being tab, yet again, grab these wind tunnels. That's the appropriate size, and then we need to tear that out as well. So let's just go ahead and rip this out right there and rip this out right here and there. And we want to bring our dirt forward just a tad bit so we can crawl in on top of there, and that will be good. Honestly, we could probably just make this all dirt instead of having it like this. Save us a little bit. It's not really going to save us anything, but you know what? I'm having fun with it, and that's all that matters. That is all that matters. Okay. And that means that we need to put that well-being Bad Johnny back in right there, and that should cover that spot, and that covers that spot. Okay. Let's let them do that real quick for us. Hopefully we didn't cause them too much consternation with all of that. And we will watch the game continue to chug along at a snail's pace, which is pretty much par for the course at this point in the gameplay. Right, they are still working their way through all of that. They're throwing all the dirt in for us, which is beautiful. We can actually come over here, pause the game for half of a second, connect that to this side, and then connect that to that side, and we've made their life a little bit easier. A little bit, not a lot of it, just a little bit, which is a good thing. Now let's grab the wind tunnel. We throw that in, that gets connected. We need to tear out this path. We also want to rip this out and that out, and we can even continue along to here and rip this path out here as well. The path goes away. We clean up the path just a little bit to our farm back here. And we can even replant those canola seeds right there. You don't need to actually rip that out. Give me that back. Cancel that. Replant that. Bada bing, bada boom. Everything's getting tossed in. This is going to consume a lot of our planks, which is fine. And a lot of our gears, but we have a cajillion gears floating around, so I'm not too concerned about the consumption of that. And we've got 6.9k nice units of logs floating around, so I'm not too concerned about everything getting thrown in. And there we go. Now we should see our happiness start to go ping, 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 which will make our beavers that much more happy, and me that much more happy, and everybody else that much more happy. All right. So that is the last thing for the happiness, for the well-being, to get thrown in, other than the Earth repopulator. Somebody somewhere hasn't seen a roof in a minute, but that's fine. So we're going to let this finish up here. I appreciate you all being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this series thus far. We've got one more episode left, and I believe it'll be a relatively short one because it's only a little bit of cleanup and throwing in the Earth repopulator. throwing in is not the exact word that I was used to describe what we have planned to do, but I have had an absolute blast putting this together with everybody coming in. It's been a joy, to say the least, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. All right, guys, enjoy your day, enjoy your time, and have a fantastic time out there. Stay moist, stay thirsty, stay frosty, my friends. We'll catch you all in the next episode. I don't know what to do with my hands. And TimberPunk 2. I'm out. See ya!